And for more, Disha Nishova tells us from Moscow. Well, Disha, early results show Putin winning some 80% of the vote, the highest ever result in Russia's post-Soviet history, and him winning the 6th time.
That's right. We understand at this moment that almost all of the ballots have been counted by the Central Election Commission, and the Russian President Vladimir Putin is securing yet another term in office by the landslide victory. Now, speaking at his headquarters in Moscow's Gostinny Dvor following the preliminary result publication, he said that these numbers indicate the trust that Russian people place in him. He also said it was obviously important for him now in the upcoming 6 years to implement everything that has been envisaged, to put forward all of the plans that have been announced. He also made a lot of reassurances suggesting that everything that has been promised will be fulfilled. Nothing he promises cannot be fulfilled. He said he had made a promise to himself that he wouldn't promise anything that he cannot achieve. So we understand to this moment that the other candidates have admitted that they have not managed to win this election. But again, you have to remember that the result of this election has all this time been a foregone conclusion. There have been no doubts about the outcome. The big question was how high the turnout would be and how many votes the president will garner. So speaking of the turnout, it has exceeded 70%. That was the projected target before the election started. And obviously, the very fact that so many people came to the polling stations or cast their ballots online is yet another thing that the Russian authorities will later be using, saying that the ongoing course which Russia is taking on many directions, including on Ukraine, is supported by the vast majority of Russians.
All right, the results were a foregone conclusion, as you said. Disha, also, as you just mentioned, Putin has also said that he was ready for talks on French proposal for a Ukraine ceasefire during the Olympics. How will that come into picture?
Well, that's right. President Vladimir Putin has once again reiterated Russia's position, saying that Moscow has never ruled out the opportunity of the negotiations. This possibility is still on the table. However, it is a big question, whom should Moscow be talking to when it comes to Ukraine? Because it is Ukraine that, according to Moscow, has all this time been walking out of the possibility of negotiations, banning them at the legislative level. We also have President Putin saying that this so-called sanitary zone will have to be created on the Ukrainian territories to make sure that the attacks by the Ukrainian military do not reach the Russian Federation. This is yet another thing that we've already heard from him, speaking about this sanitary zone, so that the Russian forces will have the upper hand in the territories that are close to the Russian border and make sure that the Russian border is safe. But once again, he has reiterated this probably after Ukraine stopped up its attacks on the election week against the Russian regions, and several people were killed as a result of those attacks, especially in the border region of Belgorod.
All right. Thank you so much, Disha, for that information from there.